Good afternoon, everyone. Our topic this afternoon is Chapter 7, Human Resource and Cultural Symbolic Frame of the Organization. Lee Bowman is an author, scholar, consultant, and speaker who is professor of scholarship and holds the Marion Black Missouri Chair in Leadership at University of Missouri, Kansas. Before UMKC, he was professor for 4 years at Carnegie Mellon University and for over 20 years at Harvard. He consults and lectures organizations, public agencies, universities, and schools all over the world. Dr. Terry Deal is a renowned leadership expert, author, and international consultant, having taught organization and leadership courses at Stanford, Harvard, Vanderbilt, and the University of Southern California. He founded the Terence E. Deal Leadership Institution at the University of LA Verney. He is retired now and consults many types of organizations around the world. Bowman and Deal argued that leaders should look at and approach organizational issues from four perspectives, which they called frames. In their view, if a leader works with only one habitual frame of reference, he risks being ineffective. The four frames they proposed were structural, human resource, political, and symbolic. Each frame comes with a range of concepts, metaphors, and values which provide the scaffolding for organizing raw experience of the world.
Okay, so my name is Inel Gracie Panerio, B.Ed 4. Okay, Bowman Lee and Terry Dill's four frames. So, this is the four frames of Bowman Lee. First, structural frame. Second, human resource frame. Political frame and symbolic frame. Okay, so these models help you to view an organization from our different perspectives: the structural, human resource, political frame, and the symbolic frame. So, by applying the four model or the four frame model, you can identify the roots causes of problems, understand the needs of interest of different stakeholders, and design appropriate interventions and solutions. So these four frames improve your organizational behavior skills. Okay, so um, okay, so structural frame, it concentrates the strategy, setting measurable goal, clarifying tasks, responsibilities, and reporting lines, agreeing on metrics and deadlines, and creating system and procedures. Okay, so structural frame focuses on the formal aspect of organizations such as its goals, rules, tasks, policies, procedures, hierarchy, and coordination. It assumes that an organization is a rational system that can be designed and optimized to achieve efficiency, effectiveness, and alignment. To apply the structural frame, you need to consider questions such as what are the main objectives of the organization, how are tasks divided and assigned among members and units, how are resources and information distributed and controlled within the organization, how are performance and outcomes measured and evaluated by the organization, and how are rules and regulation enforced and communicated by the organization, and how are conflicts and changes managed, and resolved by the organization. So, answering this question can help diagnose strength and weaknesses of the organizational structure. So, identifying gaps between goals and activities and suggest necessary change to improve organizational performance. Okay. Next is the human resource. Okay, so human resource frame, the HR frame places more emphasis on people's needs. It chiefly focuses on giving employees the power and opportunity to perform their jobs well, while at the same time addressing their needs for human contact, personal growth, and job satisfaction. Okay. So, human resource frame, it focuses on the interpersonal aspects of an organization such as its culture, values, norms, motivation, satisfaction, learning, and development. So, this frame assumes that an organization is a social system that can be influenced and improved by the people who work in it. So, to apply this frame, it is necessary to ask questions such as what are the main beliefs and attitudes of members and leaders of the organization. How are their needs and expectations met and fulfilled? How are their skills and talents utilized and developed? And how are relationship and interactions fostered and maintained? How is feedback and recognition given and received by members? And okay, so received by members and leaders of the organization, and how it diversity and inclusions promoted and supported by the organizations. So by answering these questions, you can assess the strength and weaknesses of organizational culture, determine the source of motivation and satisfaction, as well as suggest changes to enhance organizational behavior and climate. Okay, so next, reporter Gerson Villegas.
Political frame. The political frame addresses the problem of individuals and interest groups having sometimes conflicting agendas, especially at times when budgets are limited and the organization has to make difficult choices. The political frame, often referred to as the political perspective or political lens, is a concept from organizational theory and management. It suggests that organizations can be understood and analyzed through a political lens, focusing on power, influence, and competition with an organization. This frame emphasizes factors like the distribution of power, the use of political tactics, and the conflicts and alliances among individuals or groups within an organization. It helps leaders and managers to navigate organizational politics and make decisions that consider the political dynamics at play. Symbolic frame. The symbolic frame addresses people's needs for a sense of purpose and meaning in their work. The symbolic frame, also known as the symbolic perspective or symbolic lens, is another concept from organizational theory and management. This frame emphasizes the importance of symbols, meaning, culture, and rituals within an organization. It suggests that organizations are not only rational and political entities, but also symbolic ones, where shared values, stories, and symbols shape the organization identity and influence behavior. Leaders and managers using the symbolic frame focus on building and maintaining a strong organizational culture, using symbols and rituals to communicate core values and create a sense of belonging among members. This frame highlights the significance of how employees perceive and interpret the organization's culture and symbols. What is the importance of the human resources and cultural, symbolic frame of the organization? By applying the four-frame model, you can identify the root causes of problems, understand the needs and interests of different stakeholders, and design appropriate interventions and solutions. In summary, human resources are central to the cultural and symbolic frame of an organization because they are responsible for shaping, communicating, and reinforcing the organization's culture and symbols. This in turn influences how employees perceive and interact with the organization, ultimately affecting its success and effectiveness. So that's it for my report. Thank you.